from Washington, D.C. Nope, you're not in Washington, D.C. Where are you today, Roland?
Nope, Gainesville, Florida last night. Spoke to the Gainesville NAACP, the chapter of the Freedom Fund dinner last night. Earlier that morning time, hit 7 black churches, encouraging folks to get out to vote. This, of course, was after hitting 12 stops in Houston, Harris County on Saturday with the 19 sisters who are running for judicial positions in Harris County, and then flew here, got here at midnight, and then, of course, Friday was with Black Voters Matter on the campus of Texas Southern University, getting students out to vote there as well. Tom, it is unbelievable. First of all, in Harris County, the early voting totals could very well pass the entire vote total in 2014 midterms. Wow. Just early voting. But also, here in Florida, African Americans. This does not count souls to the polls yesterday. 474,455 African Americans voted early in Florida. In 2014, it was 344,000. Again, this doesn't include souls to the polls. So you're going to have more than 500,000 African Americans voting early in Florida this year, which blows past, of course, what took place. Significant enthusiasm across the country, including young voters. In some places, 18 to 29 years old, Tom, is in excess of 200 to 300% increase in this year's election. And my next guest, he hopes to see that level of enthusiasm for him in Mississippi as Mike Espy is running for the United States Senate in Mississippi. He joins us right now. And Mike, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing fine, Roland. Doing well. Looks like you had a great day in Florida.
Well, actually, then, of course, headed to Atlanta as soon as I hang this phone up for the prayer rally at Ebenezer Baptist Church tonight. You, of course, running for the United States Senate. Thad Cochran has resigned due to health reasons. You've got 2 Republicans running. You're the Democrat running. And what is your strategy to win this United States Senate position?
Well, I mean, like everyone else right now, it's really down to turnout. You know, in Mississippi, on paper, we have 12,000 more registered black voters than in Alabama. And just like you said, in Florida, you know, we don't have early voting here, but we've seen an incredible increase in absentee ballots. So, I mean, we've got more black voters registered. I mean, the strategy is to identify them and to encourage them, persuade them to come out, and then to turn them out. And so all over during the summer, you know, we've been very quietly, you know, just beating the bushes and getting folks out to register. And so I think we've done a really good job, and we're going to see that tomorrow. But, you know, I cannot win with black votes alone. You know, that's just not enough. In this race, I need enough white votes, you know, white Democrats to solidify behind my candidacy, but also to encourage others to come across. So in Mississippi now we have enough people who I call purple people, you know, to come across, and they identified with me based on a message of unity. You know, I'm saying that Washington is broken. You know that we've got so much dysfunction, disunity, someone with all these intemperate tweets every morning, and people are just tired of it. They want someone that talks about health care, you know, pre-existing conditions, you know, making sure that student debt is taken care of, making sure that education has been expanded. And, you know, while the 2 Republicans are fighting each other, seeing who can be the most adherent to President Trump, I've been keeping my head down, talking about the issue. That's my strategy.
All right.
And speaking of that, of course, the 2 Republicans are running, and your aim, obviously, is to reach a runoff against one of them, where it's a one-on-one matchup. First of all, when would that runoff actually be?
The runoff in Mississippi, if no one receives 50% plus 1 vote here tomorrow night, then it goes to runoff, which is 3 weeks later, which is about, on November
Thanksgiving.
27th. Just about. November 27th.
And so again, and you have these various choices, and you talked about that crossover vote, which is important. How is that even looking as well? Because many people, even Democrats in D.C. are saying, "Look, Mike Espy, he's got no shot. There's no way in the world we can even remotely compete in Mississippi. It's too red."
Well, as I said, it's a red state, but we see that it's less red and more purple. And I don't forget now that I was the first black congressman in Mississippi since the Civil War, and I began with 85% of the black vote and 11% of the white vote, but I finished in 1992 after 3 full terms with 95% of the black vote and 40% of the white vote. And they remember me from my service as in agriculture. I was sector of agriculture. I'm president of a nonprofit that gives business loans, that gives home loans, and that goes into the public schools, putting credit unions in there. And we don't say we only come into the black neighborhoods. We go everywhere where there's a need.
Mm-hmm.
So people know me. They know my name, and they know my service. They know that although I am a Democrat, proudly, but the thing is that I'm an independent thinker. No one's going to tell me how to vote, what to say, what to do. They know that. So that's my history, and that's why I think they're going to come across.
Now, Sybil, Roland, and Mike Espy, what happens to the Senate if Mike Espy wins? Does it swing toward the Democrats?
Democrats have a very narrow path to taking control of the Senate. You got many folks who are running in other red states, like in North Dakota, Montana. Of course, you have the race out in Arizona to replace John McCain, and so so even Democrats can see it's a very narrow path. They're going to have to run the table in many of these positions in order to keep it Indiana, West Virginia as well. But that's really what the aim is, and that's what Frank and Mike. That's what Donald Trump is focused on. Of course, the orange one has really been saying he knows that Republicans will likely lose the House. He's desperate to hold on to the Senate because of those federal judge positions.
And Mike Espy, the people who are running your campaign, or I read that they were saying that they're hoping that the two Republicans running against you will cancel each other out. How likely is that to happen? I know you're talking about the runoff, but how likely is it to have them cancel each other out?
Well, I'm not just talking about the runoff. I was responding to a question from Roland.
Okay,
I mean,
sure.
we believe we're going to do really well tomorrow. I mean, you have two Republicans in the race, and they seem to just have focused fire on one another. One gentleman ran against Pat Carpenter and almost beat him. If there had been another percentage turn out for him, he'd be the senator today. And he's the one that has been talking about 40% of the Mississippi population begging for federal scraps for 100 years. And that right there, has really energized the black voters to come out. And the other one, has been endorsed by President Trump. He's come to Mississippi to campaign for her. But again, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? So people see him and see what he said, and they're energized based on that. And those two candidates are focusing fire on one another, trying to cancel one another out. So we're just keeping our head down, doing what we've got to do, turn the vote out, and we're going to win tomorrow, we believe.
Mississippi, don't sit at home. Use your power. Mike Espy, of course, is running for United States Senate. Again, get out there and make it happen. Sir, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Good luck, my family friend.
Good luck, sir.
All right, sir. I'll keep a watch on your house.
All right.